Good morning, everyone. Wow, I'm so glad. Hi, yeah, thank you so much. Today is Saturday morning and so happy to see you guys. Hope you guys would already took a very, very good breakfast. Hi, everyone. My name is Yuki. I'm a community manager from Signature Market and also MC for today. So as usual, before I get started, let me to do some small ground rules. So for those who are already in, please be aware to mute your mics so that the Zoom can be processed without any interruptions. Okay. So secondly is please prepare your notebook and pen if you want to take down some notes. Okay. So and number 3, be enjoy and ready to yourself. Okay. So again, on behalf of Signature Markets, I would like to express my very warm welcome to all of you. This is today is a rainy day, right? Actually, my side just got a light raining, and actually I'm rushing back from outside. So actually, I'm so anticipating for the section for today because actually yesterday, those who joined, we just over the forecast, the Chinese zodiac forecast. So like this morning, we have a TCM workshop that in the English version. Those who already attended for the Chinese version last sections. So yes, today we have the same topic but in English version. So thank you for our Miss Sim today because she able to conduct for the 2 version for us. All right. So so let me know that do you guys know actually what is TCM? Because actually TCM, this name is like our sudden recently, this word is keep on coming out. Does anyone know what is TCM stand for? Okay, so let me explain a little bit. Yes, TCM is a traditional Chinese medicine. Yes. Yeah, so actually once when the traditional Chinese medicine was certified by our Ministry of Health, right? You started to see a lot of product and business start like doing a lot of advertising and promo, right? So actually very happy to see this since because indeed TCM in Chinese history is more than 1,000 years. But of course, when we talk about TCM, it's not only about the herbal product, but also like acupuncture and Tai Chi. So herbal product will be part of that when we start from food because in Chinese, we believe that we can use food to do some kind of treatment. All right. So we are so honored to bring you the professional today to learn more. As you see, the topic today is how to prepare your dish with the Chinese. So I believe a lot of you, included me, always when we prepare the dish with the Chinese herb because you want to like use a TCM way, to like treat our, can I say treat like serve our family, okay, make their health get better, or like sometimes we have to increase some qi. All right, so especially now Chinese New Year is coming up, so are you guys plan to do some special dish with the Chinese herb? Anyone? Is there anyone who like to do Chinese herb dishes? Anyone? Can you type yes in the chat box? Anyone? Yes, Amy, thank you. And maybe also, yes, Veronica, true. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, indeed, even myself also like to start to putting all these Chinese herb product into the dish. Especially, the young kids now, they don't really how to enjoy. So, but somehow, as a mother, I will always like, okay, as a mother, I should like let them to experience more, which is this is good, especially the soup and all that, right? But sometimes, too traditional one, I don't really know how to do it. So I try to modernize it. But before I modernize my dish and recipe, I have to know actually what is the product. I mean, what's the product? What's the ingredient inside to contain the vitamin? Whether if this mixture is good or not, and how should I use it wisely, right? I think you guys feel me, because I always have no idea on how to read that, especially even in English. In the Chinese, it's totally different, very hard to integrate. All right, so before I bring out the speaker, let me introduce a little bit about her. Okay, so our TCM physician, Zim, I will call her Miss Sim. Okay, she was born in a traditional Chinese medical family. Her dad is a skillful TCM practitioner with more than 30 years experience. She's a certified TCM practitioner under the Ministry of Health. She's an active member of Malaysian Chinese Medical Associations and also the first batch of Malaysian Chinese Medical Association. So in 2014, she went to the Beijing University of Chinese Medicine for her 7-month internship. During the internship, she was interviewed by the Blue Ocean Network, BON TV. She has a totally 7 years working experience as a TCM practitioner. She worked in her family-run clinic in Malacca. So if you guys come from Malacca, you can pay a visit to her, all right? So her field specialty are pediatric and food therapy. So that always we can learn a lot from her by how to use food to do therapy, all right? So let me bring out our speaker of today, Miss Sim. Hello, Miss Sim.
Hello. Okay, let me share screen. Thank you, Yuki, for her kind introduction. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor and a privilege to be invited to participate in this Zoom sharing sessions. My biggest dream is to learn from people in all walks of life and to share knowledge with people on every possible platform. This is why I have been traveling to many countries to further my studies, hoping to broaden my knowledge and widen my vision, as well as to polish my soft and hard skills. Once again, thank you, Signature Market, for providing me this opportunity to make my dreams come true. Without further ado, let's move on to the topic of the day. Unleash your inner tiger this 2022 with healthy Chinese medicinal cooking tips and 3 herbal recipes to increase your vitality. It has been a challenging time for all of us since COVID started in 2019. The pandemic has not just affected us financially, but also has had a great impact on our daily activities and mental health. 2021 was not an easy year either, especially with the flood that we have not encountered for nearly 5 decades. But hey, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. We are definitely stronger than we were in 2019. We have made through the worst 2 years, 2020 and 2021. So congratulations to all of us. I hope that we always learn to be proud of these little things in life. So in this 2022, how are we going to mentally and physically prepare ourselves to be healthy and happy? I strongly believe that the secret for a healthy living begins with a good meal. Yet, again, how to prepare a good meal? Let's see the outline for today's sharing sessions. The contents are divided mainly into 2 parts. The first part would be the introduction to traditional Chinese medicine, TCM food remedies, which include the idea of TCM food remedies and homology of medicine and food, the fundamental theories of TCM food remedies, the common misconceptions about TCM food remedies, the core principles of TCM food remedies, the rules of thumbs, and the differences between TCM food remedies and nutrition studies. Part 2 would be the application time. So after all the theories, how can we use or apply the TCM food remedies to ease the most common problems we face in our daily life or in this upcoming CNY, Chinese New Year? And I would share a little bit of my own recipes for a full course of TCM food remedies. Lastly, it will end with a brief conclusion before moving into the Q&A sessions. So if you have any questions along the way, just write them down in the chat box and I will answer them after the PPT presentation. So let's move to the part 1, introduction to TCM food remedies. So what is the idea of TCM food remedies? The idea encompasses 5 criteria. The first one would be the TCM theory to understand the nature of food, the TCM theory to analyze your body condition and constitution, the current weather, your living and working environment, and your recent encounters. For instance, your recent emotional events or what food you have taken recently, and combining all these 5 together to choose the most suitable food for you to consume. Just on a side note, the suitability in this sense includes the availability of ingredients that you can access and your financial capability, amount of intake, food quality, digestive condition, and etc. So this is a brief idea of what TCM food remedies is about. But what is the kind of fundamental theories that we use to analyze these kind of food remedies? Basically, these are the terminologies or sort of the framework that we use. I understand that it can be overwhelming at first to see these TCM terminologies or theories that you are not familiar with. It could be a similar encounter when you first attended a nutritional talk or you went for a Western medical talk where they would share the ideas of carbohydrates, vitamins, proteins, potassium, and etc. However, I can assure you that these basic theories or the terms aren't as difficult as they seem to be. They are mostly the nature that you can sense, you can see, or you can feel them. So if you focus enough on each of your senses, you can definitely decipher the TCM ideas rather easily compared to those nutrients that you cannot see or you cannot even feel them. So instead of categorizing our food into carbohydrates or say the nutrients into carbohydrates, proteins, and sugar or salt, we, TCM, uses this framework to categorize or to understand our food and even our body through this nature, the properties, the taste, the colors. So here are some of the concepts where you can say 4 properties like hot, warm, neutral, cold, cool, and 5 tastes: sour, bitter, sweet, aromatic, salty. 5 colors: green, red, yellow, white, black, and the meridians related to the food. For instance, like this food will affect your liver, then it would be said that this food is related to liver meridian. So the idea isn't that complicated or complex. The only one that I would rather say is quite abstract is this food nature, where it encompasses this wind, cold, dampness, dryness, and fire. So in the next slide, I'm going to talk a little bit about this food nature. But before that, just to, as again, top up to this kind of fundamental theories as a framework, it's not just applicable to understand these kind of food remedies or herbs, but it is also applicable for analyzing our working environment, the weather, the living environment that we are in, and the habits that we have. So if you take enough time to kind of grasp this idea about TCM, you basically can understand the whole, even about acupuncture, about Tuina, massage, and everything. So this fundamental theories is considered quite important as a core, and also at the same time is useful for everyone. So take some time to let your senses, work and feel it and say, oh, how come at this moment I feel a bit warm, I feel a bit cold? And that's what you need to basically look out for in TCM. So let's move to this wind, cold, dampness, dryness, and fire kind of ideas or like concepts or theories. So the one that highlighted in green, they are not the factors that can affect your food remedies. So these are the one highlighted in green are those that so highlighted in green, they are the external factors. For instance, like they can be only affected by weather. So you don't get summer heat through food. The only 5 that can be affected through food are these wind, cold, dampness, dryness, and heat. So some food are having this characteristic of wind. For instance, like beans and peas, cabbage, the gourd family. If you consume them like too often, or you say like too much of this group food, then you can easily get skin itchiness, bloated stomach, urticaria, and the wind characteristic. So in this sense, maybe you're kind of say, okay, what is wind? So wind are things that you can feel, but you cannot see. So as again, when you take food that is wind in nature, then you can get all this kind of running or wandering feeling, very discomfort, but yet you cannot really explain it. So this basically is a kind of wind characteristic. In short, is those food easily lead to a special constitution. It's like you are very sensitive to many food or many allergens. This is sort of like a brief idea of what is wind. And the second nature of the food would be cold. So those raw food or food directly from the fridge, or most of the foods, like especially coconut, seafood, and fish, they are basically cold in nature. So if you are having kind of cold extremities, cold lumbar, or you basically just feel subjectively feel cold or cool in particular regions, or when a physician during examination, that body part feels cold when palpate. So these are characteristic of cold in your body. So prevent cold food if you are experiencing this kind of conditions. Try to avoid and take lesser cold in nature food, as they can cause yang deficiency. So yang is like a warm thing in your body, or warm energy. And the third one would be dampness. So dampness are the kind of nature where you have heavy, turbid, sticky, greasy. So for instance, all the dairy products, glutinous rice. If you consume them for a long run, you will constantly feel heavy and tired, or your body fat percentage would be slightly higher. And you can easily get these mucus and phlegm problems and also eczema. So try to be careful if you are having this kind of symptoms. Try to avoid dampness food. As again, because this group of food can cause phlegm and easily create this dampness heat in your body. One of the symptoms that I forgot to put into this dampness is that your stools, means when you go to the toilet, your stools will feel sticky as well. Like when you go to the toilet, your toilet bowl will the feces will just stick and very difficult to flush away. That is a sign of dampness as well. So this is something that I forgot to put in the slide. And the fourth one would be dryness. So MSG, spices, people who dislike to drink water or eat vegetables and fruits, or prefer spicy food. These kind of habits, or if you take too much of MSG, all this, that's the reason where you get all these dry throats and lips and constantly feel thirsty and just want to drink water and having this dry and hot stool. So as again, if you're having all this issue, just try to avoid and take more vegetables and fruits and prevent all the spicy food, as they can cause indeficiency. And lastly, this kind of heat and fire nature. The longer the cooking time, the more heat or heatiness that you can feel. So for instance, like people always ask the physician about how long should I boil the herbs? I would say depends on your body constitution. If you are the kind of person easily to have ulcerations, acne, fever, constipated, or you have a low sleep quality, I recommend you not to boil too long because our grandma will always say you have to boil like 4 to 8 hours for your herbs. That would depend on whether or not your body can absorb. So if you are very heaty, just try to reduce the cooking time. It is fine to just boil it for 2 hours or even 1.5 hours. And the kind of poisonous food, they are also having this fire nature, and high calories food or deep fry or wok fry food. So try to avoid all these if you are having all this heatiness issue. As again, if food that they are not listed in this table, what should I do? You can just try out, maybe like today you say you try a food which is not on the list. And you can just say, okay, after taking this food, I feel very heavy, tired, indigestion, all this. Then it is sort of closest to dampness nature. So you can just jot it down, have a notebook for your own like daily food that you have taken. So just write them down and say, okay, this food A is a dampness in nature. So these are things that you can try and error, and TCM herbal or like say food remedies, they are really, really enjoyable. It's a process where not just about, oh, I should memorize, because seafood is cold in nature, but not all seafood is cold. So and also depends on how you prepare it. For instance, you just deep fry the seafood, so that deep fried food couldn't be just pure cold. It definitely contains some heatiness. So that's the reason where you have to really think thoroughly of what the food nature is. And most importantly, I would say in these TCM food remedies is that you should enjoy the process and just go and have fun and just write them down of how you feel, what you see. Yeah, so that's it. And so what is this whole idea about TCM herbal remedies? Food top up with this TCM remedies culture is TCM herbal remedies. why I put this slide of this that Daejung Jewel in the Palace. It's a very old Korean drama in 2003. But I highly recommend you to watch it if you are really interested into TCM as well as this whole food culture. Most of their contents are quite accurate and their knowledge is very, full of knowledge there. So at the same time, I would like to, raise awareness about how you should obtain knowledge. I believe that you shouldn't just purely read from books. You can always learn something by watching some documentaries or even some movies. Of course, I would say that not all movies portray or film the correct information, but this Jewel in the Palace is one that I highly recommend. So these TCM herbal remedies definitely can prevent and treat disease. And most importantly, we use it to cultivate health and to attain longevity. So what are the kind of misconceptions about TCM food remedies? First, all healthy food isn't tasty. Delicacies aren't healthy. So this is really the top one in the list, because all people would tell me that, hey, you have no life. You have no life for taking just healthy food. All the delicacies cannot be healthy. I think this is a really wrong concept. And second, it is very, very troublesome to prepare or to consume healthy food. And the third would be the lesser the better. I think all healthy food has no salt, no sugar, no oil. This can be quite fatal as well. Or the fourth one would be the more the merrier. These herbs is very good. Ginseng is very good. Go and take it every day. Overdoing it can still be very toxic and harmful to your body. The fifth one would be the more expensive, the better. I just bought that 1,000 ringgit ginseng. That is the best of all the herbs that I can get. It depends. Of course, some herbs can be quite expensive because of the production. Like, it's very difficult to harvest them in the wild, or some is not easily to cultivate in like greenhouse or by human or man-made. So those kind of herbs can be expensive. And six, like TCM herbs or TCM have no side effects. I would only advise that, be careful of TCM herbs or acupuncture or tuina as well, because if they are done wrongly, they can be quite harmful to your body too. So do not assume that herbs has no side effect or like acupuncture is safe for everyone. That is not the case. And seven, a particular combination of food is taken for long without changing or having a balanced diet. So for instance, maybe you said, okay, I've taken ginseng, it's so good for me, and I love it so much. Then I take this ginseng food for the whole 365 days. So this can be dangerous as well. So try to have a balance and, a good combination of food as well. So what is the rule of thumb? TCM food remedies has its own rule of thumb as well. So note it down, this is the take-home message. It's very, very important. So first, you have to have nutritious breakfast, filling lunch, and light dinner. So this is the kind of big framework. Just follow this and you won't go wrong. And then the kind of small little things that you need to look out for TCM food remedies. First, the food is exquisitely prepared and delicious. It also has a balance of 5 colors, 5 flavors, and 5 tastes. The meal is enjoyable and therapeutic. So if your food remedies taste horrible and you're not enjoying the meal, trust me, it's not food remedies. So food remedies has to be therapeutic and you really enjoy eating it. So the third would be the amount is sufficient. So each individual has their own amount, like not too little for them, not too much for them. And fourth, the ingredients used have to be high in quality. So in this sense, when people tell me no salt, no sugar, it can be quite dangerous for your body in long run. So your body needs those salt and sugar as your essential energy source. So I would recommend you to buy only like high quality ingredients. For example, organic salt, organic sugar, brown sugar, honey. Yeah, you can just use honey to replace any kind of white sugar. Yeah, white sugar would be the only one that I really not recommend you to take. And you can just use organic oil, or prevent, just as simple as prevent all the chemically produced low-grade ingredients. Fifth would be the food prepared suits the individual, suit the age, suit the gender, suit the body constitution, amount is suitable, financially capable, and also at the same time is suit your living environment. So basically it's as simple as food is custom made for you. Yeah. And the sixth would be food that improves digestive system and metabolism rate is added. Yeah, most of the time your food remedies have this kind of digestive improved herbs or food added into it. And the seventh would be raw and cold in nature food, as well as oily, greasy, spicy, and fried food are not recommended. Try to avoid all these foods. And eighth would be the essence is mainly contained in liquid form. So like if you boil ginseng, or for example, just red dates, I would not recommend you to consume the red dates or like eat the red dates, because if you just want purely to tonify your body, the essence is already all in that liquid. So just drink the liquid that you have boiled is sufficient, because 70% of your body is water. So the best way for you to absorb is just taking in that liquid that you have boiled. If you do not want to waste the food or like the herbs, like red dates, you don't want to waste it, you can either make them into fertilizer, just go to your garden, bury them and make them a good fertilizer, or just feed to the chicken or ducks if you have them. Yeah. So on the 9 would be you have to have regular meals. Don't skip, no irregular meals. And then of course, having the habit to chew slowly and thoroughly. So these are the rule of thumb. Have to kind of remember it, comply to it, but they are not too difficult to remember. They are just like kind of common sense as well. So what are the TCM of saying, so what is the main food that you should have? Based on this yellow emperor's yet classic of internal medicine. So 5 grains nurture our body, 5 fruits support our body, 5 animals tonify our body, 5 vegetables fill the stomach. So this is kind of like the classic way of saying, but it simply means that 5 grains would be our main course. Fruits will be on the side. Animals or like the meats are there to benefit or strengthen your body. So if sort of like meat is not a necessity, but if you are very weak, then you can consume some meat. And 5 vegetables are there to fill your stomach. So it's like to top up to your main course of the grains, then there will be some vegetables. So this is the classic that we follow in TCM. And what are the differences between TCM food remedies and nutrition studies? So TCM food remedies focus on your condition, your body condition, like your current feeling, your current emotions. This is the first thing that we really look it up very carefully. And your body constitution, so what kind of constitution you're born with or inherited with. And third, your ability to digest and absorb the food. And fourth, your metabolism rate. And fifth, the 4 properties, 5 tastes and nature of food. So when we are discussing or trying to give you food remedies, these are things that we really focus on, which is quite different from the nutrition study, as of just, basically analyze the energy, calories or carbohydrates levels, sugar levels. Yeah, so these are the main. So the idea of this homology of medicine and food, it simply means that both medicine and food can be used to prevent and treat sickness. So don't just assume that you can treat by only using medicine. Food can be equally powerful in this sense to prevent and to treat sickness. So there are still differences between medicine and food remedies. So medicine in this, I would say some drugs as well is the same. So food remedies are neutral in nature, while this medicine has to have some biasness in nature. For instance, like they have to be warm or hot or cold in nature. While food remedies can be slow and has no obvious effect, for instance, that you want an immediate effect, food usually couldn't make that happen. Only medicine can have immediate and obvious effect. So in short, medicine is not suitable for long-term intake, but food is suitable to be consumed daily and for a long period of time. Correct and persistent intake of food remedies can attain longevity and prevent sickness. But medicine, we do not use it to prevent or do health cultivation. For example, you won't take a Panadol every day to prevent headache. It's the same application to herbs. So just be extra careful. Okay, then I understand. The next question would be, so what is the differences? Like how would I know this is a medicine or this is a food? We TCM follow this another classic called Shen Nong's Materia Medica. So if you're interested in this TCM food remedies, I would recommend you to look it up and just have a look at this premium grade food. So here, TCM herbs are categorized into premium, medium, and lowest grade based on their toxicity. So Shen Nong has already helped us out to know what kind of food that we can take or we are safe to consume daily for a long period of time. They are being categorized into this premium grade. So they are not poisonous, they are not toxic, they are used for food remedies. So here are some examples: ginseng, red dates, licorice, cinnamon, goji berries, honey, Chinese yam, Chinese barley, chrysanthemum, hawthorn, mulberry leaves, lotus leaf, cordyceps, honeysuckle, and etc. So in total, there are 120 herbs that you can kind of safe to take every day, because they can nourish the body and to slow down the degradation and aging. While this medium grade, they are mostly not toxic, but some have mild toxicity. So as they can prevent and treat sickness at the same time. So we do not recommend you to consume this group medium grade food without a physician's supervision. And they cannot consume solely for a long period of time. So for example, like old and dried gingers, angelica, lily, and this kind of rhino horns, gypsum, and antelope horns. Here, I would say like be careful with these rhino horns and antelope horns, because I am aware that like carrying and all these, they have, most of the pharmacies sell those kind of rhino water and those kind of clear heat water. So be extra careful if you are not a truly heaty body, but that's why I said you need a physician's supervision. So be sure to get a physician advice before consuming all this rhino water and etc. Things that is very cool in nature. So be careful. And the last one would be this lowest grade. They are basically poisonous and toxic herbs, and they can only use in combination with other herbs, and they are used to specifically treat some diseases. They are not safe to consume for a long period of time. So part 2, how do we apply all the long theories that you have shared? Okay, so is the most common problems with TCM food remedies. So usually we suffer some dry and sore throats. In this sense, you know, not just Chinese New Year. I believe every day if we burn midnight oil or we talk too much, we suffer from this dry and sore throat. So I would recommend you to boil some lo hang guo, get some white fungus, crystal pear, and mix some wild honey, chrysanthemum, and recently I found out that this signature market, they have all these very high quality, you know, premium mountain snow chrysanthemum, or even they have already had this throat soothing herbal tea. So I have already checked their ingredients. They are quite suitable for most of us. So I would recommend you to maybe try out. And if you find them very soothing and helpful with your sore throats, and you can just consume them for like at least 2 times per week. So second would be the common issue of bloated stomach, sensitive stomach, or body image concern, especially this Chinese New Year. We're definitely gonna have tons of good food. So what should I do, you know, if I eat too much and grow a bit of fat? I would recommend you to take some hawthorn, red yeast rice, mandarin orange skin, malt, and even signature market 4 herbs spleen strengthening. So just on a side note, a reminder that if you are, you know, having or consuming this chrysanthemum, this flower tea, be extra careful. Do not boil flour. Any kind of flour, just use hot water or boiling water. Put it in a cup and just use the hot water, just soak them and they are ready to drink. So do not go and boil any flour like how you should boil any herbs. Yeah, this is one thing that I need to give a kind of reminder. And the third one would be acne or pimple issue. So if you are suffering on this skin issue, I would recommend you to take more flower tea, or even signature market, they have already had this rejuvenating herbal beauty selection. So they have already, I think 4 different kinds of flower tea, well-ly packaged, and you just have to drink easily, just consume them every day for 4 days. Yeah. So maybe just this week for 4 kind of combination, and next week you can just kind of have lavender, rose tea. And for this flower tea, it is also okay to mix with some honey. It tastes good and also good for your skin. So honey is good for your skin as well. So mung bean lotus seed dessert. Yeah, mung bean lotus seed dessert. I think this is also by Signature Market. They have already well packed with a whole ingredient, easy to cook, easy to prepare. So if there are other reasons, for example, you have an allergic skin, just try to try to avoid the allergens, because flower tea cannot help with allergens. They are not there to treat your allergy. So fourth, liver damage due to over drinking issue. Flos puera rara tea, flower tea. So this is kind of like a herbs. If you can get it, this is really, really good for detoxify the kind of alcohols in your body. Or do not drink with empty stomach. You can eat mixed nuts. I know Signature Market are so well popular or like famous for their mixed nuts. They are really, really delicious. So do not drink with empty stomach. Mix with some mixed nuts or lower the alcohol concentration. Or you can simply say, I drink alcohol, but I drink it through, food remedies. So you can definitely use a lot of cooking wines in your food. Daily food is fine. So for a long run, if you are kind of like, I wouldn't say alcoholic, but if you love alcoholic beverages, just use them as your as part of like a cooking wine. So you can even fry vegetables, just put whatever kind of wine that you like. Also, of course, try and error. So not all alcohols are good for like, I mean, the combination, you have to be careful with it. So like red wine can be good with some, you know, steaks, but that doesn't mean the red wine is good for frying vegetables, something like that. So they are good for preparing food, but different wines have different tastes as well. So that goes with your, again, you know, try and error, go enjoy the whole cooking process. And there you go, you have your own secret recipes and not telling anyone that what kind of secret wine that you are using in that dishes, you know, that's in between us. So nonetheless, prevention is better than cure. So try not to eat all the fried food and causing all the heatiness. Then you say, okay, never mind. I would just, you know, take some flower tea after consuming all the heaty food. You still can enjoy a little bit of fried food, but I would recommend you to reduce the amount of intake. Sorry, my cat is meowing. Okay, so next, move to the recipes. How to prepare a full course of Tcm fruit remedies. So these are like appetizer. They should be fragrant and aromatic to induce appetite. Main course, tonifying chi blood with balanced nutrients. Dessert to improve your digestions and absorption. So this is kind of like a principles as well. And moving on to this is just a recipe by me. So please do not take it like you have to do it like that. It's just something that I, you know, having fun because I like to make my own recipes. And so appetizer, let's move to this, the 5 good fortunes. So these are the ingredients that I used. Signature market Dampness relieving spleen strengthening soup, because they can help me to start up the digestive system. So again, this kind of strengthening spleen are things that you can look up, or like the words that you can look up if you are preparing for appetizer. So while preparing this recipe, I would start off by just boiling water and throw this kind of welly packet of this signature market, and just throw all the herbs in and let it boil and just turn it to low heat for 1.5 hours. So this is the only thing while you like prepare herbal remedies, is that sometimes it can be quite time consuming to boil the herbs, but not all herbs need long boil. So I just follow the easy to follow instruction on the package. It says need 1.5 hours, so I tried it out and it works very well. It's not difficult to prepare. And so while waiting for the herbs to boil, I would prepare the sauce by mixing all this organic soy sauce, organic salt, organic sugar. So this will be the sauce that I mix in later. And those in the blue means garlic, chili padi, you know, oyster sauce. They are things that you can just adjust, because I understand that some people don't take garlic, or some people just don't take onions as well. And for kids, they don't take chili padi. So if you're preparing this dish for a younger audience, or like a younger group of people, then you can just skip chili padi. And if you are not a vegetarian and you just want to use oyster sauce, go ahead. You don't need to just purely use a vegetarian oyster sauce, but these are things that I use. And then I will prepare this local lotus root. So I will slice them, and again, I will just, you know, just to prevent it from turning yellow, I will soak the lotus root in vinegar water. So that's the best way to prevent lotus root from turning yellow. While preparing this organic black fungus, I just simply use boiling water again and just dip them in and just kind of slightly cook it, because both black fungus and lotus root are kind of safe to take even it's not fully cooked. I recommend you not to boil it for too long, because like black fungus and lotus root, they have their own nutrients. If you boil them for too long, then the nutrient will be lost and, you know, go into the liquid, which we are not using. So things like that you have to be extra cautious. And once you're done with everything, the boil and the herbs have done cooking for 1.5 hours, and I would just add in the cornstarch to make the herbs look a bit like thicker sauce, and then I'll just mix and just pour everything into one big bowl, and that's how it becomes the appetizer. It's quite simple, but at the same time, this kind of like sort of the amount that you want to put in, just based on your own preference. If you prefer to be more salty, just add a little bit more of salt, and sweeter, then just add more honey. Yeah. So why is it called 5 good fortunes? That it encompasses 5 colors: coriander, goji berry, Chinese barley, lotus root, black fungus. 5 flavors: black vinegar, mandarin orange skin, honey, sugar, garlic, ginger, chili, soy sauce, salt. And most importantly, in the Chinese family or Chinese culture, we believe that the 5 blessings. Through this appetizer, I really hope that you can wish the people who enjoy this food a peaceful year, a prosperity year, harmony, longevity, and benevolence. So this is sort of the appetizer. And what kind of ingredients in this signature market Dampness relieving spleen strengthening soup? So those in blue, I usually just remove them after boiling because they really taste bad. I don't like them in my food. So it's up to you. If you are okay and fine to eat these herbs, they are safe to consume, they are safe to eat, just that they don't taste good. So I would just remove them while just add these black in color, because they are after boiling 1.5 hours. Those lotus seeds really are soft and very nice in taste and textures. So I mix them in the appetizer, and they actually not just boost up the taste, at the same time the kind of they make the whole food chew better as well. So these are things that for the appetizer. If you're like concerned of what are the ingredients and the functions, you can easily access them in Signature Market website. So main course will be rice to eminence. These are the ingredients that I use. Signature Market American Ginseng root soup. As again, when you see this kind of soup packaging, you just need to prepare a big bowl of water, around 1.5 liter to 2 liter of water, and not use, try to prevent, or not to say try to prevent, you cannot use any pots or utensils that is metal, the best is you can use a glass utensil or ceramic to boil herbs. So if you have slow cooker and you are kind of worried that you do not have time to prepare, you can always just throw in all the herbs and put the water and put in slow cooker before you sleep. So the next day, while you just wake up and they are all ready. So that would be the best way to prepare if you are really rushing and want it to cook fast. So prepare the herbs the day before, and then you kind of prepare the seasoning. Once you are done with these herbs, just throw in all these ingredients, I would say, because if you are not a vegetarian, you can use pork or any meats that you like, and just fry them and mix the herbs in and season them. Then this is a delicacy. And these are the herbs that use in this American ginseng root. So they can help to tonify both your qi and blood, and they taste yummy. I would say it's not bitter at all, and it's easy to combine with any form of food, like even meat or not meat. And I use a little bit of glass noodle, so they taste like quite filling. And if you have the time to decorate it, of course you can just make like yam. The Chinese New Year, they always make yam, fried yam, and around it like fried yam ring, and then just pour these herbs inside, and they really look nice and tasty. Lastly, dessert, happiness and prosperity. So this dessert can help you for your after a full meal, you are very bloated sometimes, or even just difficult to, or like indigestion. So this hawthorn can help you for digestion. So in this case, I just use Signature Market hawthorn trim feet tea, 2 sachets. And All you need for this is a tea, so you do not need to boil it again. Like all tea, do not boil them. Just use ready boiling water and just soak them for like 5 to 10 minutes and they are ready. So in this, I use these 2 sachets, put into 2 liters of water and just soak them for 2 liters of boiling water and soak them for 10 minutes. And while preparing this jelly powder mixed with the sugar, and then while it's sort of like I make it again, just turn out the heat. After soaking the tea, I remove the tea bag and then I mix the jelly powder in with the sugar and stir it well. And once it's done, you see like the jelly powder is mixed well and everything is well, just pour it out to the mold. Or if you do not have mold, just use any big bowl and just let it cool down, and it's all ready to be a very yummy dessert. I actually added the mandarin orange skin and I, again dice them into fine pieces. Or if you do not have mandarin orange skin, you can use any kind of plums or Buddha's hand and just sprinkle on top, and yeah, then you can see on top there's like kind of a mandarin orange skin. Yeah, so this is the jelly. I believe everyone will find them refreshing and kids would love them and just can't like stop eating. And it's a good dessert during this Chinese New Year and can help you to slim down, improve your digestion. Yeah. Even then, you do not have the time to make into jelly. This autumn tea, they taste very well, like very, very good, well-balanced taste. And if you find them not sweet enough, you can just add sugar. But for me, I've tried it without any sugar. They taste really good, surprisingly good. I mean, I thought it would be sour, but it's not. So yeah, these are kind of the ingredients used in this trim feed tea. So conclusion, why is Tcm food remedy so important? Well, there's a saying, a Chinese saying, say food is the god of the people. So in Chinese, it's 民以食为天. Food is the god of the people. So food is the ingredient that binds us together. It brings happiness and love to people who eat them. So it is very important if you want to, have a happy life. Start with a good meal. Start by having, yummy food, and you can see how powerful food can be. Even when I was in China, in UK, because I'm a Malaysian, I'm very, very proud of my food. I love my food culture, and I just enjoy cooking. And open house, this kind of culture, I invite my neighbors, or even did not invite them. I would just give them or share them some food, and that's how I make wonderful friends and create the kind of strong friendship bond with them. So just live our be a proud Malaysian and spread this kind of food love everywhere. And I believe it's a good and the best way of being a Malaysian. And then why and how? Why is it this food is so important? I thought Tcm always talk about, or like health is always talk about exercising. You need to exercise or at least take some supplements. Having money issue, I need to have money to be healthy, or like get some treatments. Is it important to have like acupuncture, trainer, cupping, or taking some herbs? Maybe I need some herbs. Actually, all of these are not like main part of your life. Your life really rely and depends on food, because you take at least 2 meals per day. Even then, you need like to pair with correct dietary guideline if you are exercising. So do not assume that once you exercise, you are healthy. You need to pair with correct dietary guideline, or not, it can be dangerous as well. So do not assume that you have to rely on doctors to be healthy. No, that's not the case, because health cultivation relies on your own will and a healthy habit. So yes, all of us can. So the core message of these Tcm food remedies is to actually cultivate a good eating habit. It is not just about what you should consume, but also as equally important to know what you should avoid eating. So this is basically the kind of main idea of TCM food remedies. So break the stereotypes. I hope after these Zoom sessions, series sessions, you do not assume again like all healthy food isn't tasty. Delicacies aren't healthy. No, healthy food can be delicacies as long as they are prepared correctly. So as again, if you have any doubts, any questions, please approach to a nearest to you and a trustworthy TCM practitioner. So before I end the sharing session, I would like to say the food culture for each of us might not be universal, but the love for food is universal. So I hope and I wish everyone this 2022 or in this tiger year, a heart full of love. So you need love for food and love to make these food remedies work like magic. Yeah. So I think that's all for the sharing session today. Thank you everyone for your patience, and yeah, we can move on to
thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Sim. Yeah, we actually have a ton of messages like wow, pumping up, okay, and I'm busy to capture all. Yeah, thank you so much for all your questions. If you have any more, please type in the chat box. So we will start from the earlier question that there are some people is asking, and if the time is allowed, then we will address it all out, or else we'll pick some important, because I believe when the moment you asking, actually Miss Sim already addressed it nicely. So the first question coming in is soybean milk win in nature because she drink it every day.
Yeah, because it depends on your body constitution. Actually, soybean milk is win in nature. That's why most of people who are quite sensitive, they feel bloated after soy milk, like after taking in soy milk. So it simply means that if you can consume it every day, your body constitution is not that kind of allergy kind of or special constitution. So you're safe to consume them. But also for a long run, I would say you still need to kind of mix and match with other milk. For instance, like goat milk or rice milk, millet rice milk or quinoa milk. And I saw that, in Signature Market, they have you all have tons of instant drinks, and even some, they are amazing. I think you can just switch, not to take a long run. Yeah, soy milk is green in nature. Yeah.
Okay, understood. I hope it answered. And there's a question on this slide also, actually, what you show. What if you have a combination of the element cold and dry?
Yes, this is really a good example, because in reality, you don't really get wind issue only. Usually, they combine in pairs, like wind heat or wind dam. They always come in pairs, sometimes even come in three, like wind top up with cold, top up with dampness. So it's quite common in clinical setting. So if you have that, you have to sort of first treat it, like make your body stronger to, because as again, you can see why some people are safe to take soy milk and why am I not? That is because your body constitution or your body condition currently not allow you to take all the windy food. So start off by restoring your health, be healthy again, and get balance. We not say you're not healthy, but it's just your body is in a unbalanced or imbalanced situation. So let that restore the balance, and then you can kind of take again all this wind and dampness. Oh no, I think it's wind and dryness, right? Just now.
Actually, he mentioned it's cold and dry. I think some people.
Cold and dry. Yeah, cold and dry are very common because aircon issue and also ice. So avoid and try to avoid taking cold drinks. Ice, especially ice drink, and with the aircon issue, you need to sort of prevent taking all the cold and dry food at the same time to restore your balance, like your So find a physician to help you resume your yang, and then at the same time to nourish your body. Once again, your body like restore the balance, is fine. You won't feel cold and dry. That's why like this is still sort of the early sign of saying like before you fall into like sort of prevention. You need to prevent it to a more severe state where you would maybe suffer different issues. So cold and dry, most importantly, do not take ice drink. You have to take more water mixed with some honey, or like take more fruits and vegetables, but avoid cold fruits. Yeah, like coconut, no. Just try to take some apple, or put or boil the pear with white fungus, the kind of dessert. That's also very suitable for you. And get some lohanguo, also good. Lohanguo mixed with chrysanthemum. Yeah, all of this will be helpful for your situation. But of course, those are like food remedies. But if the condition is very serious, try to approach a physician for help.
Yep. I agree with you, because sometimes all the issue will be very personal and very customized. So that would be good. You look for the TCM practitioner, or the professional. They can straight to the point and do the treatment for you. That would be more easier. Oh yeah, and this question actually got Phil is mentioning the same thing, like how does acidity and alkalinity of the food affect our health condition? Because a lot of our food is like contain acidic, we know, but somehow we still consume, but after we consume, but we bury it. Actually, how should we like handle that?
That's the reason why we say the big like sort of a principle rule of thumb of food remedies is that you need to have a balanced diet. So like you said, acidic food are mainly high like meat, red meats, and all the alkaline food would be vegetables or like fruits. So most of the fruits and vegetables are alkaline in nature, and all the acidic would be mostly meats. So if you have a balance of saying like rice, meat, and actually there are like nutrition study would say you can only consume per day is like the palm size of your hand. That's the meat amount that you can consume every day. So if you do not exceed that, I don't believe that you have you have acid issue in that sense. So there's like, as long as you are having this balanced diet, you shouldn't have this sort of like pH imbalance issue, because a lot of time like fruits and vegetables, and they would be alkaline and like to help with the acidity.
I see. So Miss Sim, can I say if like those like actively cook the acidic food, but as long as they also balance with all the alkaline food, indeed it can nutrient in the body?
Supposedly, if your body is in a balanced condition, sort of like you are healthy, your body can detoxify. But if you are not, like you yourself maybe suffer some liver dysfunction, or like your organs is not in a well-balanced state, then it can be an issue.
Okay, all right.
So as again, we go back to these body conditions and also body constitution. So it's quite important before we sort of say, okay, what kind of food is suitable for you. But at the same time, if you are like, you are strong, but you every day just take meat, that can be an issue as well. So that's the reason we say it's not just about what you should consume, but also should avoid doing it. Like you shouldn't just take a very imbalanced diet. Every day just take about meat, pure meat, and then fried food, or like ginseng every day, just ginseng, and you assume that would be healthy, then that is not the case.
Agree. So still have to go back to our the balanced diet, and it can like become a prevention, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we have one question. I have a Dampness head, took TCM medicine for a month, but tongue coating still very thick. Is this normal, or because of the medicines not working?
Dampness heat can be quite a stubborn issue, because dampness itself is sticky in nature. So it can take some time to help to restore the balance. But if you have any, like you feel it's not helpful after taking the herbs, or you feel you do not have any improvements, maybe you can talk again and refer back to your physician. Or you feel like, yeah, this physician I have given enough time, and you want to try for a second opinion. It's always up to you, because or maybe you have some improvements that you are not aware. So things like that, I wouldn't be sure. Maybe you can kind of approach again and ask your physician whether or not it's working, or why you are not feeling any improvements. And yeah, I would say dampness is not easy to resolve, because as again, the nature of dampness is that they really stick to you. They really, really like you, and they just stick to you. So try to avoid dairy products, glutinous rice. As again, TCM Food Remedies is here to tell and remind you at the same time, while you take these herbs to treat your conditions, but you need to also avoid and to prevent it worsening and cause the issue to be more and more serious. So I would say, yeah, whatever that you're facing, is best for you to refer back to your physician. Or if you don't feel like going back, just go for a second opinion. And
Yep.
yeah, that's it.
Agree. Indeed, myself have a dampness issue also, but how I do it, like I have to do exercise to do sweating, and I don't sleep in aircon room, just like we pay attention on all the cold foods. I mean, I don't know whether it's correct or not, but I think it can be just a little bit. And recently I learned some Qigong, so it's make it the body more warm and not too.
Yeah, it's all again about the metabolism rate. So
yes, exactly. So I got this thing which I would like to ask also, because I think there's 2 to 3 questions almost the same. Is like for the eczema issue.
yeah.
Like actually the children have the eczema, and actually what should avoid, I mean what food is avoid, and what herbs should be like prepare for them.
Actually, the fastest and immediate effect for eczema is always external application. So I think in the Q&A I got answered like what this is my personal experience. So my personal kind of remedies also. So it's not commonly used outside to treat eczema, but I've shared it last sharing session and also at Q&A. You can find these herbs in all the herbal shop and mix it with the Vaseline. It's not expensive. It's not expensive at all, actually. And I find it very, very useful, and just apply it externally on your children's skin. But at the same time, if they are not too young, they are allowed to take more mung bean and lotus leaf, Chinese barley, this kind that can help to remove dampness and also detoxify the body. And at the same time, try to reduce dairy products. You can replace milk with millet milk or rice milk, or even like say soy milk. If the kids don't like soy milk or like millet milk, you can still replace using goat milk. Goat milk is a bit or slightly better to absorb by the body compared to cow's milk. So a lot of time eczema for my patients, I don't know, it's just my experience. I first would ask or request them to change their cow milk into goat milk or any kind of milk, like rice milk, millet milk, or soy milk. And that would help a lot, because cow's milk are very sticky. If you realize, after your children drink the milk, and once they open their mouth, it's white and sticky, greasy kind of mucus. So that is dampness. So you have to avoid dampness food for eczema. Basically, yeah, I would recommend that.
Actually, there's a question from the floor that like everyone talking about, recently there's a lot of water filter, alkaline water, and a lot of people comment that we just can't drink direct and we must boil it. Actually, from the TCM point of view, how do you look at it? like non-boiling water.
Yeah, I know those kind of filtered water, then you just directly drink it, without boiling it. It's still cold in nature, especially alkaline itself is already cold in nature, and then you drink it without boiling it, then it will cause like cold extremities, cold lumbar. Some people would start to have this indigestion issue because the stomach getting colder and colder, like cannot function as well when it's warm, because your stomach is full of acid. Like you need the acid to digest. So if you drink a lot of alkaline water, then you can have indigestion as well. So in TCM, we don't really say like it's this alkaline issue, but we will group them in this cold nature of like drinks. And so if you are, I would recommend you do this way: boil the water, boil the alkaline water, and you feel like boiling water, some nutrients is lost, minerals is lost. Then you mix 50% of boiling water, 50% of the alkaline filtered water. So it's 50-50. And we call that yin-yang water, so it's fine. So it's also safe to consume every day for long run. So that's the recommendation.
Okay, thank you so much. And we have, most of my soup are boiled in a slow cooker for 8 hours under low cooking heat. Is it okay? Still classified like very heaty?
Usually wouldn't be an issue, but if your body constitution, as again back to your body constitution or your digestive condition, if you are that kind like really cannot absorb this essence, then it can be heaty. So if that is the case, you either increase your water amount, meaning you make it more diluted, or you simply make it like, you just set a timer and then you let it boil for 4 to 5 hours, slow cooker, then it's okay. But 8 hours of slow cooker, I don't find it an issue. I feel it's quite okay.
Good. So is it okay to take red tea 2-3 times a week? I think yes, right? Because just now what it shows is
as long as it's not cold. It's not cold. Like it's not iced red date stream.
Okay. And my 18 years old daughter on diet and only eats salad every day. I'm worried any soup I can boil for her that's not oily or fattening.
Actually, she should, like, a lot of time, for my bachelor studies, means my TCM, my FYP final year project, I actually focus on reducing weight, means this on diet, the topic. And we found out that having this higher body fat percentage is mainly of dampness issue, dampness, and dampness mixed with cold or dampness mixed with heat. And she is a female. I mean, is a daughter, your daughter. So it's a female constitution is a bit different compared to male. So if she constantly just takes salad without taking a balanced diet, she can have other issues, especially related to gynecology. And also she would find it like why for long run it will relapse and has other issues as well, like other health problems. So I recommend her, like, let her be aware of these dangers, and also let her be assured that as long as you avoid dampness food, you are safe to take other food. Like you can take some rice, but reduce the rice amount because you still need rice for your metabolism. So remind her that metabolism rate is the one that you should focus. Avoid dampness, and like dampness is the one that you ask, like what kind of herbs you can go for signature market, the spleen strengthening and release the dampness. All these are the terms that you can look for. And the hawthorn tea and the rejuvenating beauty, all these are already well packaged by signature market, and I realized the ingredients and combination is good and is helpful. So these are maybe products that you can look for through signature market.
Thank you. So is it okay to take ginseng whisker 2-3 times a week if you feel heaty, especially during CNY weather?
Sorry, repeat.
I'm sorry.
Ginseng
Whisker.
is like a wine. But you say you are heaty. Because the condition is that during Chinese New Year, you feel heaty and you don't have enough sleep and you maybe eat a lot of fried food. And is it whether safe to take ginseng wine? I would not recommend. I mean, it's heaty enough. So ginseng is like high in heat or fire nature. So try to avoid any heaty food if you're feeling heaty.
Okay, I believe so because we always thought that ginseng can treat something, but somehow the more you consume, the more the heat raise up, right?
Yeah, I mean, food remedies also talk about balance. We don't recommend you like example. I mean, I keep on reminding at the rule of thumb that you say, okay, ginseng is good for you. Yes, they can strengthen and make the longevity, everything, but it has to be taken according to the situation as well. And also, it's not like one type of ginseng I have to take 365 days. It's not. We recommend you to take a long term, but that doesn't mean like every day you have to take it, every month you have to take it. You can take it like once in a week if you need it. Like older, then maybe you can take 2 to 3 times per week. Yeah, it's not like every day for 365 days. It's not that key.
We got it. So we have something new question here. Is ginger powder with molasses, which is so inconvenient pack nowadays, is likely toxic, according to one of our slides, and only to drink them when necessary. So when we have like stomach pain.
I understand your question.
Okay.
Here,
all right.
Here. So she's asking like, is this whole ginger and this dried ginger same as those kind of ginger cubes or powder that they sell in the market?
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure because you have to really read the ingredients. If it's a young ginger, it's still okay. So I recommend my patients or my friends and family to take only young gingers and do not remove the skin. So a lot of people would assume that you need to remove the skin, the ginger skin. But I will only recommend you to wash the dirt away and remain the skin, because ginger skin can help to clear a little bit of heat. So if you purely just use ginger, it can be really, really heaty. So why in this case medium grade is old and dried gingers is because old and dried gingers are really, really heaty. Like their nature is quite biased towards heatiness. So if you are not people that usually consume ginger powder or ginger cube is during menses, like female, we have menses. So during that period of time, if you feel cold and always stomach pain, like having this menstrual cramp, then it's okay to consume, but you don't like consume it for long run. So during you have that kind of issue, yes, it's okay for you to consume. And it's fine if you just fry them in your food, like you mix with your veggie and then you fry it. A little bit of that is not considered huge amount, so it's fine. But like you said, the concentrated one, first of all, you need to know what kind of gingers they use. Second of all is like, still I wouldn't recommend you take every day, except you need it during menses or like your physician recommend you to take it. Because I used to have cold body constitution, so I took it for like nearly a month of ginger, but I stopped once I feel my body has restored the energy. So now I don't drink ginger every day, but I only drink it like first day of my menses or first and second day. That's all.
I see. And okay, there's a myth here. why I say that's a myth here, because actually this is not the first time and about this question about the flower tea. So sometimes people say the flower tea is a bit cold and you shouldn't boil. But actually, what is the best way that we consume the flower tea?
So in Chinese medicine, we say flower is fragrant in nature. So we want that fragrant. Fragrant can help to wake up, we sort of say that, wake up your spleen and also to calm your spirit and mind. So why we do not recommend you to boil the flower is that once you boil the flower, all the fragrance and all the essential oil will be gone. So we just ask you to just soak them a while, like for 5 to 10 minutes, and then you can just remove it and just drink the tea.
All right. Oh, so meaning like, mostly the Chinese chrysanthemum, we used to boil it, right?
Yeah, that is not kind of correct.
I see. So means all the while we are doing the wrong way.
Well, it's not to say like super wrong. It won't cause harm. It's just that the effect will not be as good as just soaking it. So like chrysanthemum, you want to clear liver heat and you want to help like your pimples issue and like your eye, make it like, because you always look at the PC screen or all these screens, then you want chrysanthemum to help all these issues. So if you boil them, then the effect would be not as good as just soaking them.
Okay, understood. Oh yeah, just now the dessert that you showed, the hawthorn jelly dessert, is the mandarin orange skin that you mentioned is dry or the fresh one?
Is this kind of ready one. You can eat them. Do not buy the one from herbal shop, because herbal shop one you need to boil it. They cannot directly eat and they taste horrible.
Okay.
So be
okay.
careful. I would say if you cannot find this mandarin orange skin, you can just go for Buddha's hand. Buddha's hand is quite a good one.
All right. Yes. Good. So, oh yeah, this catch my attention also. Like when we boil the Chinese soup, is that we should avoid the stainless steel or fine with that?
Actually, the best not to use stainless steel. Of course, like you can see, I still use stainless steel.
Yes.
Try to avoid.
Yeah. Try to avoid.
Just use glass and ceramic.
Okay.
And
good.
One thing for ceramic, try not to use like, because I now recently moved house and my new house is using the kind of gas stove. So ceramic can absorb the gas, which is the gasoline, which is not very good. So if you are using ceramic, either you use the charcoal, like the old way, really charcoal, or you can use the electrical stove.
True.
Depend. Yeah.
Yes. Agree.
Yeah, sure.
And okay. The rest of the question would be okay. Oh, sorry, my dear. Our time is a bit less, but I will pick one more question. But the rest of I haven't answered. No worry, because we will pass the question to Miss Sim. So that after that we will compile and give you guys a copy so you can get to know more about it. So I will pick one more that I saw. This is like okay. So actually they have a knee problem, and actually what food should consume, like to treat this kind of situation?
I think this question is quite vague because first of all, I really don't know what kind of knee problem here. It can be like old age issue or just simply because you are an athlete where you physically injured your knee. So if say like you are athletic and you injured your knee, then this kind is quite difficult to say you can use any food to help. But it's still, first of all, avoid for knee issue, we commonly ask you not to take all the like coconut, very cold drinks, ice drink. You can take more like black beans and like those cashew nuts and yeah, and 杜仲, those kind of herbs that really strengthening your kidney. That's all I can say, because knee problem is very, very wide. And as again, you can just always refer to the physician, but avoid all the cold food, all the cold raw food, coconut, ice drink, all the fridge food. Yeah, that would be the only kind of food remedies advice that I can give. And try avoid all those dampness as well.
Yep.
Cold
Okay.
dampness.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Sim. So guys, if you have more question or some personal, because I believe some of the question is what Miss Sim can do is general, is not really can apply to all, because you might have a specific issue that we not really know about, or she unable to diagnose without more question about your body condition, right? So yeah, no worry, just remember you can PM and like Miss Sim link. Yes, so you can ask more about that in details, and yeah, you see the YouTube link, so you can get more information over there. So yeah, so before that, let me launch a ball and help me to, you know, a little bit time to fill in, see if you like the TCM workshop. Yeah, so we can conduct more in the future. Can you share with us? Oh yeah, actually Miss Sim practice in Malacca, at Malacca. Malacca, yes. I hope today's session gain a lot of knowledge. Indeed, myself, I learned something. Especially the chart that Miss Sim prepared is really useful. Especially, you know, a lot of the cheating, right?
If you guys want this PowerPoint slide, I can share with you.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, then that would be great. So guys, so remember to check out your email, because we will attach the slide for you guys, and you can watch the video anytime. So it's still you know, we still have to allocate more time to do the balanced diet, because what I gain, okay, after 1 hour, actually what I try to interpret is like I summary it. No matter how balanced the diet, no matter how just balance it first, then only we treat the issue. Can I say that? You see?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So the rule of thumb, just follow the rule of thumb. I think this is very important. So if anything come out, even you have a balanced diet, then only you can go for like a physician to ask more in detail. Sometimes it might be your emotion issue, right? So yeah, so things is always come not because of one reason, then combination of a lot of elements. So no worry, the slide will be attached.
If you forgot, just follow these 10 rules.
Yes. I like your this rule of thumb, because it's much more easier. Because a lot of personal question is like very specific, customized, but at least as a rule of thumb is a golden rules there. Just follow. Indeed, it can increase the healthy level of the body.
Yes.
It's much more okay already. Actually, what I'm learned in life is everything must be balanced, even in food. Emotion, yes, and the time. I mean, the time is very important, because you have to allocate time for yourself, to me time, be calm, all right, and do not have too much worries or too much focus on one side thing. Yeah, so make it balanced, and a lot of things, then you'll be quite okay already. And thank you so much, guys, for your time to really spend your time with us, okay, and learn more. And coming up, we still have a lot more interesting workshop in education or something different. And we have an event coming up also. And please stay tuned, because I got a very good Qigong master going to have the weekly practice with us. So I think you can together, you know, learn this from your eating and from your exercise, or to balance up yourself, so to make a conscious living. So thank you so much, everyone. Before you go, just stay back, okay? I almost finished for my poll. Just stay back. We're going to have a group photo. And all this school photo will attach with the email also. So give me a little bit time. Okay, we're going to finish the poll. Thank you, you guys, for actively to join our workshop. Honestly, your question indeed let other people to understand more. Somehow we do not know what we should ask, but by all your case study, indeed we all learn together. Really, thank you so much. So appreciate about that. Okay, I think we're going to end the poll. All right. So, does anyone would like to join us? Can you switch on your camera? Just join us for the photo session. We're going to see each other more often. Trust me. So let me recognize you when I walk on the road, okay? So I can call your name. Hi, May. Hi, Valerie. So any more? Okay. So I'm gonna try. Alice, are you here?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm not able to on my cam, so I will just talk over here.
Sure.
So yeah, is everyone ready? Yeah. So later I will do a count of 3. So you guys just post your favorite post. Yeah, anything is okay. All right. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay. 2 more. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, last one. Any more want to join us? Yeah, you can switch on your cam now. If not, okay, then I will take the last photo now. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good Sunday, okay? And start be aware and conscious on all the food that you take, all right? So thank you so much for coming in. And see you guys at the next workshop.